Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video, fresh off breakfast. Still don't wipe my mouth, but we're raw around here. You know how I do. Alright, so let's get it right. We're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, we had a very embarrassing loss, start to the season rather. 0-4, breaking all kinds of records, shooting the ball. Russell Westbrook and his shot selection. Kendrick Nunn, his shot selection. It's all kinds of stuff going on with the Lakers. They ain't no good. The team ain't no good. That's what it is. A lot of people were reacting to something I didn't talk about because I've pretty much broken down everything there is to say in regards to my opinion about this and that. But the one thing I haven't talked about was Russell Westbrook doing his dance on the way into the Ball Arena to play the Nuggets. It's one of those situations where it's like when something like this happens and you react to it, it's like it's not even that big a deal. Why you know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is coming into the arena. I'm in a good mood. Why you want to stop? But it's like, that's basically what it's there for. Is to get you to react to him and say something that he can say. Why are you doing all? Like, bro, I'm ignoring that. I'm ignoring that troll. That's what I think of that. I'm ignoring that. You're not baiting me with that one. Russell Westbrook obviously is an op right now. I'm not going to even front on Laker Nation at all. He's not on our side. It's very obvious that what we've done in holding him accountable for his actions and what the team's done, probably doing the same thing, and what Genie's, whatever's going on behind the scenes has made him hate us, hate purple and gold. And I don't think that's unreasonable based on his experience in purple and gold. I don't think that's unreasonable. But being on the other side of it, wearing the colors, wearing purple and gold, even though I'm not actually wearing that, it's red, but whatever. Even though we represent the colors, we can see both sides, and at the same time, we know what side we're on. So Russell can act how he has to act to feel better about himself. But we're trying to win basketball games, and we're having a hard time even getting one single victory. So all his little antics and the things that he's doing to make himself be at peace with his circumstances is not something that we need to react to. What we need to do is remove him. Leave him to those feelings all by himself. You take him and sit him over there. And all that he's doing, he can do it while we're over here doing what we got to do. That's what Genie needs to understand needs to happen here. It's not about whether or not he's dancing, running to the arena. It's not about whether he's shooting the ball the wrong way. It's not about whether or not he's going to hurt us historically with our shooting this year, his natural inability to shoot the ball. None of that is really the focus at all. The focus is, do we see that we can't function with him as a distraction to the ball club? LeBron James is essentially throwing everything in the room all over the walls. If I'm being completely honest with you, he's doing the basketball equivalent of making a complete mess, basketball-wise. He's trying to get you to understand that this ain't it. That's it. That's literally what I see there. It's like when a kid ain't happy with what they seeing, so they start kicking their legs and they start throwing stuff. And it's, no, I ain't. Like that. That's exactly what LeBron's doing in his own way. Because this is a mess, and he ain't going to be able to get out of it without looking extremely bad and messing up other aspects of his life. So he's stuck here, and he ain't happy. I think Russell Westbrook's behaving the exact same way. And like I said, I compared LeBron James and Russell Westbrook to each other last night. Russell Westbrook does it in a more demonstrative, messy way, but LeBron is doing the same thing. They're both behaving the same way. LeBron is doing it in a way that we can palate, but it's the same damn thing. They're both unhappy about probably each other and need to be separated. Like, I'm just ripping the Band-Aid off all this because that's what I see. 38 years of life watching this, that's what I see. Them two need to be separated. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. They can't win together. It ain't nothing neither one of them can do about it. And that's it. You know what I mean? And they let us know that fact at the Summer League. That was what that was about, in my humble opinion. When they sat on opposite sides, that was a key for Genie to understand that they need to be separated. That they don't need to be in the same place no more. They're on the same team. Representing the team. At an NBA event. And they sat on opposite sides of one another. what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta read in between the lines. These are people who communicate this way, especially Bron. They communicate this way. If I'm Genie, I send Russell home. Then that's when I say, okay, if we can't get a trade for him, we're going to sit him down and let him know that we can't use him, but we're going to hold on to his rights until we can trade him, and we think that we can trade him in such and such a time. And you have that conversation with Mr. and Mrs. Westbrook, and you leave them feeling good about what it is that you're trying to do strategically for your team, and you assure them that you're going to try to do what you can to assure that they can prolong his career in the league. That way he doesn't act a fool. He ain't doing all this. He ain't crip walking into Denver. He ain't throwing the ball off the side of the hoop in hopes of seeing us lose, or none of that, because you took care of the man properly. It starts with Genie, man, and the round table of many wise people who are all inputting what to do that led to this horrible situation. It's like, this ain't rocket science, man. It's a business. And run it as such. You treat people right by communicating with them. You don't have to bend over backwards to hurt the business to make the people who are hurting the business feel comfortable. Excuse me. Like, what are we talking about? Russell Westbrook's hurting the business, and you're going to bend over backwards to help him further hurt the business. It's like people are not being advised properly, and people are not looking at this properly. They're not running this like a business. They're running this like a mom and pop shop. And I'm telling you, the rest of the league ain't running their team like a mom and pop shop. And this fan base ain't trying to be outside of what the rest of the league is doing in this era. We want to be a part of the mix. That's what Genie needs to understand. Yes, did we mortgage our future to a degree for a 2020 championship? Yes. Does it appear like this is very, very messed up and like it's going to be hard and have to, you know, it's hard to undo this? Yes, all of that is the case. But you're not stuck. See, when I said Bron is stuck, he's stuck. Because it doesn't look good for him to demand a trade right now. He signed the extension. He's trying to be in Los Angeles strategically for other aspects of his life. He's literally stuck. This ain't just about that. Genie ain't stuck. This is Genie's business. If she wants people gone, they're out of here. There are ways to move pieces out of here. Seriously. You trade Anthony Davis. You take them 2 picks. You trade Russell Westbrook. And you beat back things that are tradable. And the way I look at it is, if Bron don't want to leave, you don't have to leave. You have to leave. Because the way I see it is, you're losing anyway. You're losing anyway. If you stay here and we don't do nothing in this situation, you're losing anyway. If we tear it down except for trading you, you're losing. So it's like lose, 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 lose. But I can tell you this. If we trade away Anthony Davis for a plethora of picks and players, and we trade Russell Westbrook for, say, another piece, he's going to have a lot more fun playing basketball losing that way than he is the way that we're running around right now. I'll tell him that. And your future will be a lot brighter because we're going to have a whole lot of money for next summer. We ain't going to suck for long because we'll have the flexibility to immediately jump into that free agent pool that's going to be nice next summer. What are you sacrificing this year? What does it look like this year is? Already lost. Already lost. I don't believe at this point, and this is not something I felt 3 days ago. I don't believe at this point the trade that I had in mind to get Kyrie Irving is good enough to make us a champion right now. I don't. I think he's going to come here and he's going to be asked to do all that he does. And we're going to be really, really excited about his piece doing the things that he does. But it's still going to amount to us not being good enough to beat the New Orleans, the Memphises, teams like that. I think we still have trouble. If we don't make a separate trade outside of the 2 picks to get Kyrie and all that other stuff, if we don't have other pieces that significantly improve this team intellectually, like, we got to remove certain pieces from the rotation in order to be a good enough team to do that. And I don't know that those pieces are pieces we're looking to move on from after those trades are made. We probably still have those pieces in place. They got to go too. And I look at Rob Pelinka and I'm saying, for all of the things that's going on, what I'm waiting for with Rob is a massive, massive splash. And the reason why I say I'm waiting for a massive splash is because I was listening to Dan, the Lakers fan, and a few others talk about how frugal he was with second-round picks, how he had an opportunity to get Cam Reddish but decided not to do it for a second-round pick. When I hear stuff like that, that tells me that someone has those very good plans in place for those picks, very specific ideas about how those picks should be used. And once that opportunity comes and you have all those picks that they frugally held on to, and they blast out that big trade that brings you back whatever that great stuff is, then you understand why all those little moves were necessary, and ultimately you're happy about it. So that's what I'm wondering, if he has something like that in the tuck. And because I've been paying attention to the market, I understand that could be very well the case, because the market's been locked up all summer and nobody's made any trades yet, and some of these teams are looking to make trades still. It's just that nobody has started the process of doing so, and I think it's because they're waiting for somebody to initiate the market. Just like we saw with the Gobert trade, people want to see what the temperature is going to be before they throw in. They don't want to set the temperature themselves. So it's like, that's what is happening. And so now everybody knows the Lakers are desperate, so they can hold on and wait for us to be the first team that bites, because we're the most desperate. You see? So that's what Rob Pelinka's faced with. I think most Laker fans are saying, we don't care, we suck so bad, just do something. But what I'm saying is, the other side is saying, whatever it is that we do, we're going to make sure it cripples them too. That's the strategy. You're not going to be getting a trade that's going to make you happy. You're going to get a trade that is meant to make you just as bad as you are right now, because that's what the field's job is, to make the Lakers suck. Literally. And we know it. And if we don't know it, we better know it. So for those who are saying, get the Charlotte deal done, know that the Charlotte Hornets' best interest is to fleece us. Know that. Know it early. Whatever trade you think we're about to make is going to be a very bad one. Period. We can't make a trade right now because all of our assets are worth much less than what they should be, based on how bad we've been playing and the understanding is such. So I encourage Rob Pelinka, with that understanding, to make his next move his very best move. There are going to be a lot of people telling you that you need to make any type of trade. We know that's unwise. And we know those same people are going to be very unhappy later on because of it. We have made so many bad moves. So many bad moves. We need to make sure that the next one we make is not in that same vein. I do not care what we're doing. Just make it not bad. Make it not bad. And my thing is this. I'm not on board with blowing this thing up because of timing. I have understood for more than 5 months that the best time to try to trade LeBron James was months ago. Now, I understand the market was locked just the same, but we didn't exactly put LeBron James on the block. Because if we did, I'm pretty sure he would have been traded in that market. He probably would have reset the market just for the sheer fact that he was on it, or rather in it, which he never is, or rarely is, of course. So this is a situation where it's like, we don't really know the true value of LeBron James. We have no idea. And judging by what I've seen of just the temperature of the league, everybody still sees him as somebody who can bring you off the court money that's beyond your wildest dreams. A team like Cleveland could still bring LeBron James in and double their money, even though they have a much better team right now. So it depends on what the franchise is looking for. It depends on what LeBron James will settle for, I believe. But at the end of the day, if we're not moving forward in a way to make us great, we do need to undo what is otherwise keeping us unstable. Simple as put. I do not believe Jeanie Buss will stand to make any profit from a team that is unstable in that nature, in that way. I really do. It's hard to be profitable when you're in no man's land and your fan base is like us. We're not gonna be happy at all. And we've been through so many eras of trash with Jim Buss and trash at the end of Kobe's tenure. It was just a lot of hard times, obviously, with the young kids, all of which are blowing up all over the league. And it's just like, okay, if you really want to make this fan base happy, you got to do one of two things. You got to make some stupid trade right now that brings them back all the pieces that you guys have been rumoring we wanted that are really on bad contracts, to be honest with you. The Miles Turners and the Gordon Haywards, you got to do one of those deals, something like that, to bring forth some shooting to this basketball club. Or You need to try to make some of the roster moves that I said we need to make. Of course, we do have a third option, which is to try to take some of those players that are not playing well and replace them with guys that I think are just going to give us a better dynamic from our G League team. Lesser guys, but just more capable, taller people. You do that for the time being. Sending Russell Westbrook home is a part of that as well. You open up that spot for one of those players. Or you blow this thing up, man. Straight up, you blow this thing up. That's your third option. If you ain't gonna make a quick trade, because I'm telling you, where we're at right now, we got to recalibrate everything. Because you got to look at what the timeline looks like. The timeline looks like if we wait for everyone to open up the market, we'll be waiting for ourselves because everybody's waiting on us. So you're going to find out a week past, no trades going to be made outside of the Lakers conversation. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It's going to be like that, I believe, because of the dynamic I've already explained. We're desperate. So we can set the tone for the rest of the league. They don't have to. That's what I'm saying. It's just market behavior. So what the Lakers need to do is go on some type of winning streak. We need Kendrick Nunn to play well or not play at all to get him out of here. The players that are not playing well, we need to not feature. I'm telling you, this is what I was explaining last night in my midnight video. You can't feature the bad players because if you feature them and they continue to suck, that's just further drawing away from Rob's leverage. So this is about making players look good as well as winning basketball games, one and the same. If we can't do that, it's going to determine the price tag on everything we're trading. So, like I said, man, if you can't get a good trade, we got to lose for a purpose. We can't just be in no man's land waiting for Russell Westbrook's contract to expire. We're not about to sit through that. I am telling you that Laker Nation will lose its interest more than halfway through the season if we have another season that's on pace the way the last one went and the way this one is starting. We won't care. I promise. We won't care. Especially if it looks like the players don't care, and a lot of them look like they don't. So, she needs to understand something. She needs to understand something very clearly. We're going to always love our team, but we done been through some crappy years, and we got better things to do. So she needs to improve the situation. She needs to make good organizational decisions, or she's going to see it reflected in our interests. And so that's not a joke. That ain't a joke at all. Russell Westbrook ate away at my interest when he shot that shot a little bit. I'm sitting here, I'm like, why is this man wasting my time? I could be doing a whole lot of other things with my time. And I'm sitting here watching him throw away a basketball game when we have the lead because he's unhappy about something that don't have nothing to do with the business, nothing to do with the sport, nothing to do with us. I'm sorry. It's us, Laker Nation, that needs to move on from Russell. It's not about us waiting for Russell to come back around or waiting for Russell to understand something that he may not. I don't think that that's something we have time for, straight up. So, however it's going, he's drawing his line in the sand with all this, and I am very comfortable with sending him home, man. Very comfortable. And I think Jeanie should be as well. So that's what I got. I'm not trying to give it too much more thought, man. This team is just really struggling, and I'm glad that the rest of the pundits understand what it is that I understand, which is LeBron James is a huge part of what's gone wrong in regards to his attitude and how he's been playing, for which I think a lot of that is within his control. I don't think he's struggling. I just think he's, like I said, throwing stuff around the room and throwing a temper tantrum and stuff like that, and I'm not a fan of the energy. I'm not a fan of it. I would much rather my superstar in presence, like in situations like this, be the type of guy that it's just like, you know what, we're just gonna do it for the love of the sport, and we're gonna figure out this impossible puzzle, and we're gonna go up this mountaintop. Even if it's year 20, I don't care, because I'm here to do it, and if I don't want to do it, then I just damn sure retire. I mean, this is the job, we get it done, But his mindset's not like that. Seems like he's feeling the burden of what's ahead, and I just ain't up for watching him go through that. I'm not up for that. I'm not up for that. I am his age. You see what I'm saying? I'm not up for that. No. I already know what time it is when it comes to stuff like that. I'm going to tell him like I tell everybody else. If you don't want to do it no more, let another dreamer have your spot, brother. And I say it to the king. I say it to the worst player on our squad. If you don't want to do the job, let somebody else have your spot. Because we the Lakers, man. It ain't about the name on the front. It ain't about the name on the back. It's about the name on the front. It's about what we represent in colors. It ain't even about some of the legends that wore it before, because I think that minimalizes it to a degree. Some of the guys that wore it before weren't legends. They were just really, really hard workers. Gave us everything they had. Some of them didn't win championships, but they gave us everything they had, and they wore it with respect. And we still remember them, and they too need to be respected when that uniform is put on. So that's how I feel about it, man. It's Lakers for life. My name is BF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.